Broadcast Center in Los Angeles. This is KCAL9 News at 4.
We're here to announce the arrest of Ephraim Demery, 28 years old, from Los Angeles.
Now at 4, an arrest is made after the investigation into a deadly recording studio fire that killed 2 men. Hello everyone, I'm Juan Fernandez.
And I'm Lena Wynn. We begin with breaking news. We're learning new details about the man arrested in a fire at a recording studio that killed 2 people.
KCAL9's Jeff Nguyen is live at police headquarters in downtown LA, where investigators just wrapped up a news conference. Jeff?
They certainly did, and moments ago they told us it was security video that led to a break in this case. Detectives announced that they arrested 28-year-old Ephraim Demery, and they say that the security video shows him committing an act of arson. Take a listen to what detectives have to say.
We believe that he went to the Chevron station, purchased gas, and then went back to the studio, poured gasoline inside, which we believe is the accelerant, but we have to analyze it. Poured gasoline inside it, ignited it, and then fled out the back of the location. What we're trying to piece together and what it looks like, there may have been some type of dispute earlier in the evening that may have precipitated this, but at this point in time we haven't been able to find out what the actual cause of that was.
And we want to show you video of the aftermath of the fire at the recording studio called Top Notch Recordings in Universal City. Now, this happened early Saturday morning. The men killed have been identified as Devon Carter and his friend, 28-year-old Michael Pollard. My colleague Joy Bennett spoke with Pollard's mother this morning, and she says that he leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter. We will have that emotional interview for you in just a bit. Detectives also say that the fire injured a man in his 20s and critically injured a girl who is 15 years old. In the meantime, the LAPD says that Emery has a long record and he is expected in court tomorrow. Now, over the weekend, my colleague Greg Mills spoke to Demery's uncle, and that family says that they do not believe these allegations. Again, he is expected in court tomorrow. Detectives do say that Demery did know both of the victims who died, and they also say that all 3 men had spent the night together before the fire. Right now, the motive, however, is still being worked on. That's the latest from here. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Jeff, thank you. We have some breaking news out of West LA right now where there's a report of 2 trees down.
There's one of them. Stu Mundell in Sky 9 live over the scene. Stu?
That's right. The winds are definitely picking up out here in the Southland. This is going to be the Brentwood. We're in West LA Brentwood area. This is going to be on San Vicente, right near Carmelinda Road. You can see that tree down right there. LAPD. This is going to be the West LA division out here, just kind of slowing traffic as they can get around it. They already asked for city services to come out here to at least cut up that tree or maybe move it onto the island. But right now, it's just showing you the winds are really starting to pick up again. There's one of those trees down. We hear there's another one out here in the West LA area as well. Live in Sky 9. I'm Stu Mundell. Back to you 2 in the studio.
All right, Stu, thank you. A bombshell revelation in the case involving President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen. Cohen's secret third client is Fox News host Sean Hannity. And President Trump's alleged mistress, Stormy Daniels, made an appearance. For more on a whirlwind day in a New York courtroom, here's KCAL9's Sandra Mitchell live in our newsroom. Sandra?
Yeah, Lena, you're right. What a day in court. Of course, we know that there was this attempt to keep that person's name secret, described as a mystery client, a prominent person. Now we know it is Sean Hannity. And of course, he's been a big cheerleader for the president.
Stormy Daniels arrived at the federal courthouse in New York swarmed by reporters. The adult film star got there about 1 hour after President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, walked in the building. His legal team is presenting arguments about material seized in raids at his home and office, and that includes documents related to Cohen's $130,000 payment to Daniels, who claims she had an affair with Mr. Trump in 2006. Her attorney came with her to the hearing.
I think her message has been consistent, and that is she wants everybody to tell the truth and stop lying to the American people.
Prosecutors want to know if Cohen broke banking or campaign laws with the payment to Daniels. The payment was made just a few days before the presidential election. His attorneys say the FBI seized thousands of materials that probably were privileged and might have involved Cohen's other clients. They revealed in court that one of the other clients is Fox News personality Sean Hannity. But Hannity says Cohen never represented him.
Not one of any issue I ever dealt with Michael Cohen on ever involved a matter between me and any third party.
Hannity also says he never paid Cohen, but did use him for legal perspective.
And on his radio show this afternoon, Hannity also said he assumed his discussions with Cohen would be confidential. He says they talked almost exclusively only about real estate. Juan?
Sandy, thank you. New developments in the search for a Valencia family that went missing back while on a family road trip to Oregon. The family's SUV was found submerged in the Eel River in Mendocino County yesterday. The bodies of the father and daughter were discovered inside. The body of the mother was discovered last week. Authorities are still searching for the missing son. The Totopoli family was last seen on March 30th when they left their Valencia home bound for Portland, Oregon. A report of a vehicle seen going into the river during a storm was placed back on April 6th.
Mayor Garcetti delivered his State of the City address today, and his focus was on the homeless crisis. The mayor wants temporary emergency shelters across the city and proposes trailers, large tents, and safe places to park.
This week, thanks to the City Council, we will put in place an emergency shelter crisis declaration so we can build shelters across LA as quickly as possible, bypassing red tape and regulations that would slow down the urgency of that construction.
Mr. Garcetti says the plan would cost about $20 million and the money would come from the general fund. A similar plan in Orange County was canceled after people who lived there complained. The mayor also unveiled plans to build and expand 15 subway lines, fix several freeways, and create more than 700,000 jobs.
What the mayor didn't unveil in his State of the City speech is his future. Some are speculating he's gearing up for a White House run in 2020. KCAL9's Dave Lopez live at LA City Hall with the mounting evidence so far. Dave?
Well, you have to this past weekend for evidence exhibit A, as they would say in court. And the underlying current today, as he was speaking in this packed chambers, was what was he doing in Iowa? Is he really going to run? Well, we posed that question to him.
Because we are living in an exceptional city that is thriving, strong, stable, and decent. We can't say that right now about Washington, D.C.
It wasn't the only time that Mayor Garcetti took a jab at the Trump administration during his State of the City address. Was it a reminder to people that he might be running for that office in 2020? Would you call this your presidential mode?
No, this is my 5th State of the City. In Washington, they are defining themselves by how they can divide us. But here in Los Angeles, we define our success by what we give to one another.
Can you give us a definite yes or no on 2020?
No, I'm focused on this year and I'm focused on this city. I'm not turning my attention that far down the line yet.
But he was in Iowa last weekend, and he has made stops in South Carolina, New Hampshire, and Nevada, key early primary presidential states. Can you balance both? I mean, people, Iowa, South Carolina.
95% of my time and all my weekends, for the most part, are right here in LA. That's where I'm going to continue to. We are here to end homelessness.
He has pledged $440 million to fight homelessness, a problem he said D.C. has ignored. His term as mayor expires in 2022, and even though he would not answer the question directly, will you run? Do you consider yourself presidential? Many other people jumped in.
He has a lot on his mind.
His father, one-time DA Gil Garcetti.
We've talked.
It's private, I take it.
It is.
City council members were much more open.
I feel more comfortable with our mayor running this country than what we have today.
It's not bothersome or troubling that he's trying to run a city and also thinking of running for president.
Not one bit. You can see he's doing a pretty good job where we're at.
Would you like to be president?
No sane person would, but I think we all are patriots called right now to this moment to take this country back.
So the big question, will he or won't he? According to insiders, he really doesn't have to decide right now, but he does have to decide by the end of 2018 and certainly early 2019. So the stage is set. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. We're going to go back to breaking news. It didn't take very long because Stu has found the other tree down. Stu, where are you?
Well, it's location, location, location. We're up here in the Bel Air area off of Bellagio Road, 10,000 block of Bellagio. This tree actually fell on private property. There's no problems with any of the public roads out here. You can see possibly, maybe some leaves got in the koi pond, but this is going to be somebody's personal problem right there that's going to have to clean this up. But it does show you the winds are blowing out here, and they do not discriminate. These trees are coming down in different areas all over the Southland. Live in Sky 9 over Brentwood. I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you two in the studio.
All right, Stu, thank you. The manager who called the police on two black men waiting for a friend at a Starbucks in Philadelphia has now left the company. The The manager said it was a mutual decision made with Starbucks. Meg Oliver reports on the company's efforts at damage control over the incident that has racial overtones.
Protests continue at a Philadelphia Starbucks following the arrests of 2 black men Thursday.
What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did? They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
Police say a Starbucks manager called 911 because the men refused to leave after trying to use the restroom without making a purchase first. The men say they were waiting for a business partner to arrive. Their attorney calls it racial profiling.
None of the white customers were asked to leave, and they were there a lot longer than those young men who were there just for a few minutes.
Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson appeared on Good Morning America to apologize.
The circumstances surrounding the incident and the outcome in our store on Thursday were reprehensible. They were wrong. And for that, I personally apologize to the 2 gentlemen that visited our store.
Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross went on Facebook Live to defend his officers.
It is important to emphasize and underscore that these officers had legal standing to make this arrest.
The protesters are demanding Starbucks fire the manager who called 911. The coffee chain confirmed she is no longer at that store and says it will review its procedures and training. Kenneth Craig, KCAL9 News.
Man right here said he hasn't made a purchase yet. He's in line to make a purchase, and you guys had gave him the code, right? Isn't that what you did?
While Starbucks is dealing with that incident in Philadelphia, a black man in Torrance says he was also the victim of racial profiling at a Starbucks. It led to a confrontation that was caught on camera. Coming up at 5 o'clock on our sister station, CBS 2, they'll take a closer look at this developing story, and you will hear from the man involved who recorded his interactions that day.
Coming up next here at 4, the search is on for a Las Vegas man who opened fire at a company picnic.
They were stacking up bodies. Those were the words of a witness describing the deadliest prison riot in over 2 decades.
And local rapper Kendrick Lamar makes music history. Details next.
And here's a live look right now with our Hollywood Hills camera looking at the downtown LA skyline. The winds are really starting to pick up. We have advisories and warnings. I'll tell you when things will actually start to calm down.